Hey, Jared, we got work to do. Again.
Okay. I'll tell Misha. Misha, we got work to do.
Okay. What are we doing?
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. The Boys Season 5 and Gen V Season 2 released a whole bunch of footage recently, so this is going to be my big video for everything. Clearly, they are doing their big Supernatural reunion, like they're finally paying off all the Supernatural Easter eggs, because they've already almost had the entire main cast of Supernatural on The Boys in previous seasons, except for Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins. Now they're completing the grand trio of the actual main characters from Supernatural. Probably the crazier thing is that they'd still be making that Supernatural show if it weren't for the total collapse of the CW network and all of broadcast TV just in general. There was a bunch more footage of them in the Comic-Con trailer. There was more talk about the connections between The Boys Season 5 and what's going on during Gen V Season 2, like they did with Season 1 and The Boys Season 4. So there's just a lot going on. We'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, I'll be doing episode videos for Gen V Season 2. That's going to be starting relatively soon. The Boys Season 5 episodes won't air till next year. And then after that will be The Boys spin-off series for Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy, and Stormfront. Jensen Ackles' show will be a completely different thing set during the 1950s after the creation of Vought. He was also talking about that at Comic-Con.
One more surprise for you. We are excited to announce the next unhinged chapter of the Boys universe called Vought Rising. Yeah, I know. I have no idea what I'm reading right now. This is amazing. The producers are writing the scripts right now. It'll be a lurid pulp saga prequel set in New York City at the dawn of the 1950s about the humble yet diabolical beginnings of the Vought Corporation.
I'm so sorry that I can't be there in person, but I am so excited about this and working with Jensen.
Doesn't mean they won't also have more Supernatural actors showing up on that show, just because you can have them playing different characters in the past, but they haven't said a whole lot about whether or not Jared Padalecki's character in Season 5 will have superpowers or he'll be a superhero, or Misha Collins' character will also be a superhero too. They might just be regular people, but they have filmed scenes where they are together on screen. So it does actually sound like they're paying off an actual reunion with those characters on screen, instead of saying that they're all guest starring on the series, but never actually seeing them together on screen. In the brand new Comic-Con footage they showed off, Homelander walks up some marble steps, then Karl Urban busts through the doors. You remember at the end of Season 4, he still had his sentient tumor powers that was played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who was their version of Monkey in-universe, but it was really just a memory of his in the sentient tumor acting on him because it had been juiced up by the compound V that he had taken. It didn't work on him, it worked on his tumor and gave the tumor powers. Also important, at the end of Season 4, when Butcher is riding off like he'd escaped Homelander and all of his lackeys, he also had the anti-compound V serum that he'd recreated during the events of that season. So the whole thing is the compound V weapon is still a thing heading into Season 5, but now they also have what they keep talking about, Project Odessa, some sort of formula that Vought was working on in the 1960s that we'll talk about, because that's the other big MacGuffin of Gen V Season 2 and the other big crossover point. So they did that with Season 1 and then The Boys Season 4 with the anti-compound V formula. Now they're doing it with Project Odessa, but it sounds like it might be a reversal of what the anti-compound V formula was supposed to do. There was more footage of Homelander addressing a crowd. Remember, he's trying to be God Emperor Homelander and basically is using the current president as his puppet. He was the one who was complicit with Homelander, planning on him taking over the government in the first place and then rounding everybody up and putting them in Tech Knight's public prisons. Part of the whole idea is that they're locking up everybody they either don't like or mostly just regular humans in general. Homelander wants to get rid of regular humans. It kind of sounds like that's the rhetoric that the new Dean of Godolkin during Gen V Season 2 is telling to all the superhero Compound V kids. Basically making it seem like Homelander is trying to create an army of superheroes to take over the planet and then round up all the regular non-Compound V superheroes and put them in the prisons. There was another separate speech of Homelander talking about this being a safer, more God-fearing nation as his lady smiles and looks scared at him just because he's so fearsome, even when he's not trying to be. This is more the idea that Homelander is using a lot of the religious right to his benefit, which is also ripped from real-life headlines too. But the whole idea is that when he talks about it becoming a God-fearing nation, he's talking about himself as a god. Like, that's the joke, is that he thinks of himself as a god. All you Supernatural fans will also remember that they did Chuck during The Boys Season 4 as a complete degenerate, so they've already kind of done a version of God inside The Boys universe, but not in the way you would expect. That's kind of the showrunner's whole thing, like he's the creator of the Supernatural TV show, so it's a lot easier for him to get the Supernatural actors on The Boys TV show doing just the worst possible things you could ever imagine that they would never do on that Supernatural show. You just have to imagine them making Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins doing the craziest, most degenerate things possible that they would never do on the Supernatural TV show. They showed some new footage of the boys' characters reuniting at an abandoned house. Then they showed off footage of Misha Collins and Jared Padalecki on screen together, so it does seem like they will pair up during the season. They revealed that Seth Rogen's character is also coming back. Not totally sure what they're going to be doing with him in Season 5, though. Usually they just bring him on to do ridiculous stuff with him, just like denigrate him as much as possible, which he seems like he's happy to do. Then, because Homelander is bringing Soldier Boy out of his cryo prison, they did say that they would explore more of their father-son dynamic during the season, like they did a little bit during Season 3. Part of what they pitched for Soldier Boy's storyline during Season 5 is that Homelander is bringing him out of the cryo prison and using him as sort of his dog of war to go around and hunt down all the people that he wants rounded up. So I think we'll actually see Soldier Boy going after the boys' characters again this time, where they tried to use him to their benefit against Homelander back in Season 3, like now the shoe is on the other foot. When it actually comes to the big MacGuffin that they're talking about now in the Gen V footage, Project Odessa, that they were also talking about during The Boys Season 4. So Project Odessa was on that memo inside the lab where they created Homelander as a child, as a test tube baby, that he went to in Season 4 to slaughter all the scientists that were responsible for making him, to get revenge on them for his terrible upbringing. If you're not familiar with real-world history, because a lot of this Vought history is based on real-world World War II history with the Nazis, Vought was a Nazi scientist that then defected through Operation Paperclip, created Vought America, and then developed Compound V for the Americans. Stormfront was a literal Nazi. They're making all these Project Odessa references, and it's during the 1960s, like long after World War II, but Project Odessa was an actual Nazi program during World War II that they developed to help their members escape after the Allies won.
Vought is resuming a research program called Project Odessa.
What they're explaining about it in the Boys universe is that during Gen V Season 2 and the Boys Season 5, they'll feature Thomas Godolkin, who's this character in the Gen V Season 2 trailer during the 1960s. He was a behavioral scientist working for Vought on Project Odessa, they say the 1960s, but for unknown reasons, like you see all these scientists dying after they test Project Odessa on themselves, was halted in 1965, and then right after that, he creates Godolkin University with Vought, who was the Nazi scientist that created Vought American and Compound V. They then use the school as cover to continue their testing and all kinds of other different things. That's meant to be more of a parody of Xavier's University, Professor X, the X-Men movies just in general. They actually do have evil X-Men inside the Boys universe, but they're called the G-Men. But it actually seems like because of these flashbacks that Thomas Godolkin finds that the serum is lethal to normal people, way more lethal than Compound V, as they're injecting it into themselves, and probably another attempt at them creating a Golden Century serum type of reference, like an ultra-powerful version of Compound V, in the way that that's more of a parody of the Super Soldier Serum. Maybe in present day, they restart that testing, and it has something to do with Homelander's plan to try and get rid of all humans, like he's trying to create an anti-human serum. There's a lot of other stuff going on inside this Gen V Season 2 footage, too, where they're trying to tell Marie Moreau that she could be as powerful as Homelander. I think what they're trying to imply is that she has Omega-level powers that she doesn't realize yet. Like, she's not just a simple bloodbender, it actually goes way beyond that, and she has biokinetic powers where she can finger puppet people on a way more powerful, way broader kind of level. Usually when it comes to other super powerful superheroes that they tease going up against Homelander, like, Soldier Boy, he could be powerful enough to stop Homelander. Well, he stopped him for like a couple seconds with the help of a couple of the people like Butcher, who also had his Compound V powers, and Huey, who also had powers at the same time. So 3 versus 1, they were briefly able to stop him for a second. Within the comics, the whole idea was meant to be that nobody on planet Earth was nearly as powerful as Homelander. Like, there was no actual way to fight him to death. Like, you couldn't stop him that way.
You really had me going for a minute there.
The only person powerful enough to kill Homelander was Homelander himself. There've been a lot of people that were talking about Black Noir and the big comic book twist, but they've clearly gone in a completely different direction on the TV show. Even the creator of The Boys TV show also said that he wasn't doing the Black Noir twist from the comics. They've already revealed that it's a completely different person underneath the mask. Season 5 is meant to be the final season of the main show, so I think they will wrap up this Homelander plot, but I think what they're teasing more is that Ryan will be their major deterrent against Homelander, and there will also be another twist on top of that. Like, it won't just be as simple as Ryan, Superboy, killing Superman, Homelander. But because there's so much stuff going on in all this new footage and all the stuff that they showed off at Comic-Con for The Boys Season 5, post all your reactions in the comments below and your questions. I know everybody's just wondering, what are they going to be doing with Jensen Ackles, Soldier Boy, Jared Padalecki, Misha Collins, all the other supernatural actors? Will we actually see them all together on screen or just in pockets of different combinations on screen? Jensen Ackles' Soldier Boy show is another big opportunity for more supernatural reunions too, so if you want to see more of those actors come back, let me know which ones you want to see on the Soldier Boy TV show. My assumption is they'll release episodes for that in 2027, like the year after The Boys Season 5, just so that they have something to actually release the year after The Boys is done. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. They're still in the middle of filming Spider-Man Brand New Day. We should get a bunch more footage, so I'll try to do a video for that soon too. And there were a bunch more announcements about Superman sequels, so I'll try to do videos for everything as quickly as possible. Everybody click here and here for all that new Spider-Man Brand New Day footage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.